carry emotions, the weight of the ocean. You keep climbing mountains, too blind to see. It's not getting you closer to where you wanna be in your life. The weight on your shoulders, time to put it down. You fall and you break, you got battles to take on, but you figure it out, yeah.
Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today I want to take you with me to my studio. I have some things to do there and maybe you will see it like this the last time. So I will give you a little art studio tour and show you around, and let's spend a day there and be a little bit creative. In the studio, and today it's super warm. I didn't expect that. It's really nice because the last days have been so cold and it was so annoying, and I'm also a little bit sick, and yeah, that's why I will probably switch to voiceover for this video and show you a little bit the studio and everything that I do here. And as I mentioned, it will be probably the last time that you see it like this, because this table will be picked up in a minute, I think. Someone wrote me on Instagram, and she's also an artist and lives nearby, and yeah, she wanted to pick it up. I'm so happy that this table finally finds a new home. And also this shelf is already empty, and then this corner will be empty, but yeah, we will make the best out of it. And now let's clean up the space a little bit, and then I will show you my art store and how it is at the moment. Let's start with a little room tour now, and I will make a voiceover to show you everything. And this is my studio from the outside, and I think it looks so cute from far away. And also right next to me on the right side, there's a print studio where I could print prints and digitize my artworks. Absolutely amazing. I love the location. I love my little window area, the front area with the painting, and Bernard, the plant. And I always couldn't believe to walk to my studio and to open it, that it was just mine. It is really still unbelievable to me. And I loved so much how much light came into the room. But yeah, Bernard didn't see so much of it when I was not there, so he's dying at the moment. I think it's also the perfect size for me. And here are some of my paintings. A lot of them are still in progress, but the ones that are finished you can find in my online shop, of course. But yeah, it was amazing to put the paintings on the wall, and I wanted to do this way more, like on the other side of the wall. I wanted to also hang up my paintings, and I just loved how much light they get, and yeah, that was the perfect way to showcase my art. And I had found this little chair on the street, so it was also amazing to have something to sit for the moment, and it was quite comfortable actually. And here's my painting area where I have all my paint and my oil sticks and everything. So I will definitely buy more of these rolling things. I don't know how to say it. And here are some inspiration books and my table and my lovely lamp in yellow that I will always carry to the next studio. And here are more paintings and also my little art print from one of my paintings. And here is my lovely green table where I have my kitchen area. I always wanted to build kind of a kitchen with a fridge and everything, but yeah, this will not happen anymore. But still, I'm really happy how it turned out so far. I absolutely love the light that's coming in. I think I said this a lot of times already, but it was just amazing to work there and sit at the table and to have a look outside, to see the people that are picking up a card and everything. And I also loved my yellow armchair. I often sit to read, and also my orca that stopped the door from hitting some paintings, and also my little construction here with my business cards outside. And I definitely want to do this with another space in the future. I think it's really cute, and a lot of people actually picked some cards. And this is the last view from the outside, and yeah, this was the studio tour, and I hope you liked it. But I'm pretty happy how far I came and how everything turned out, and it was such an amazing time. This was my little studio tour, and yeah, already lots have changed. I brought some things back home already, and now the table is standing here, and the person will pick it up later today. I think I need to grab something to eat because I haven't eaten anything yet and we have 1:30. So I will eat and then read a little bit and just have a cozy day, I think, because there's not so much things that I can still do here because I don't have a canvas. It's getting emptier and emptier. I have the shelf now here for my coffee machine and my stuff, so this needs to work for the moment. And I will also show you now the other side of the reality, because maybe you have seen it in the studio too a little bit, but here in the studio are some things that are not so perfect, and I want to show this as well because I want to show you the reality. This is maybe one of the reasons why I'm leaving this art store. Now I said it finally, but I mean it's kind of obvious because I will move to another city actually, so it wouldn't make sense to keep it and to drive a really long way here every time, and especially with my full-time job on the side. So I need to leave the studio, and one of the reasons is that in the room here is a really chemical smell, because I think before here was kind of a beauty shop or something, and I don't know, they did some manicures here. I think it is kind of annoying. Sometimes when I'm here for a long time, it really gets to me and I get a headache, and it is not the nicest thing. Also here is a really high humidity and it is difficult. And now even my shelf starts to get moldy, and this is really not so nice. And also my table I just saw. So here are some things that are not perfect, but I always thought that this place is absolutely perfect because it kind of is for me, and it was my very first art store. It was in a perfect location. It was directly close to my apartment, and I loved it so much, and the size and everything was exactly the right fit for me. And I really thought that I would stay here for a really long time, and that I could change out the floor and paint the ceiling and the walls so that the smell would go away. I think there are ways to do something against it, and or maybe talk to the landlord would also be possible. But I would have definitely invest a lot of money to solve this, and this is at the moment not the right way for me, I think. But there are definitely way more things that played into this, and I want to talk about this in an upcoming video in detail about all the decision, also why I moved to another city, which is actually the most difficult thing that I needed to do, because I can't tell you how much I love Barcelona, but I can't also tell you how much I'm excited for this new chapter and for this new city. So it is not an end. I can always come back, and the thing is, not everything is as perfect as it seems on video or on photos. So sometimes there are some struggles in the background and that nobody sees, and that's the reality. And I wanted to show you this as well, Even though I absolutely am so in love with this studio because of the light, because of the doors, and it was a perfect fit for me. And I definitely wanted to stay longer than 6 months, but I also think 6 months is already a long time, and the time went on so fast, and I couldn't even imagine that it's already a half year. But I'm excited for new things. I think I'm still young, and I want to explore so many different cities, many countries in the world. Okay, again, I go too much into detail about this, but I'm happy to show you the reality as well. And let's get something to eat now and spend one of the last days here. But it's not completely the last day. I will make a goodbye video for this studio like the last one that I had. So you will see more about the studio. So it's not a goodbye for now, but I really want to capture all of this, all the feelings that I had here, and enjoy the last days and be really present and yeah, have a nice time. And I take you with me, of course.
I will be the last to leave. I won't say a word, just let you breathe. I won't make a sound. I won't slow you down. I knew we were on borrowed time, just a passing streak, nothing you would keep. I fell in too deep. And as far as at least how I remember, we were leaving in September, when red and gold paint the sky. And as far as though maybe I pretended, oh, I wish it never ended. I held on with all my might, still waiting on that last goodbye. See you standing by the door, watching the leaves as they fall once more. In the silence we made, I couldn't find the words to say. They linger in my mind. Oh, I wished you'd stay.
I always thought my final studio tour would look very different. I wanted to show you a perfect finished space. A beautiful new wooden floor, painted walls, the arc above my desk in a bold orange, a painted door, every wall covered with my artworks. A place that feels calm, stable and inspiring. But that's not how it turned out. Sometimes things unfold very differently than we imagine, and that's okay. In this video I don't want to go into detail yet about my exact reasons for this move. There will be a much more in-depth video about that, because there were many different influences in my life. It's okay to choose a different path and figure out what truly feels right, even when it's incredibly hard to let go of something. Including Barcelona. I'm afraid of missing things or not saying goodbye properly or not fully taking everything in. Sometimes I feel like I still need to film everything, go back to all the places I used to be, eat at my favorite restaurants one last time, film my whole apartment, absorb it all. But it's also okay not to do that, and I know I can always come back. Sometimes you simply have to let go even when it's hard, and sometimes that actually feels exactly right in the end. Unfortunately, my art job didn't turn out the way I had hoped in the beginning. I couldn't realize everything that was important to me, but that's not a failure. It means moving in a new direction, focusing on myself again, listening to my feelings and taking care of myself. I'm incredibly grateful for the time I had here. When I finally got my first own small art store, I thought it would change a lot. More focus, more structure, more space to grow as an artist. In my mind, this studio was kind of of a turning point. And in a lot of ways, it really was. What I didn't fully understand back then was what it actually means to have your own art store and everything that comes with running a place like this. The constantly high costs, the responsibility, and all the things you don't really see in photos or videos. Too much humidity, repairs, mold, stress. Sometimes it took more energy to plan and organize and manage everything than to actually be creative. We often talk about following our dreams, about how beautiful it is to have things like this. But we don't talk enough about what happens when a dream meets everyday life, when reality turns out to be heavier than it looks. But that doesn't mean the dream was wrong or that I didn't have a good time. Maybe it just wasn't the situation I needed anymore, at least not right now. They were beautiful 6 months and many of my dreams came true, but at the moment it no longer feels right. This studio taught me more than I expected about setting boundaries, taking responsibility, recognizing priorities and sustainability, and above all, about how important it is to be honest with yourself. For many reasons, I knew that I couldn't keep going the way things are now, that I can't continue like this, and that I need to take better care of myself. That's why I wanted to show you the studio today exactly as it is. Not finished, not perfect, just real. And sometimes that's more valuable than the version we originally planned to show.